Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2022 general readings. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of May, and this is for the air sign of Libra. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for taking the time to be here to watch these videos. As always, a note of gratitude for all your likes, shares, subscribes, reaching out for personal readings, feedback, comments, your support. All of it is greatly welcome and greatly appreciated. Thank you. So Libra, this reading is for you for the last 2 weeks of May 2022. That's if your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign is in Libra. It's relevant if you're cross-watching for a Libran. Of course, it's a general reading, so it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone, although the fundamental energy and messages remain the same. But if you know all of your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, watch them for the additional insight and perspective they can bring into what's going on in your life. And if you find something does resonate with you enough that you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading, either for yourself or as a gift for someone else. Personal readings do make great gifts. Feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond the same day with more information. I do offer quite a wide variety of readings in all areas of life. And I'm pretty timely about scheduling too, so email me if you're interested. You can also get that email address by clicking the description link, that little arrow. Okay, Libra, let's see what the last 2 weeks of May look like for you. I'm using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with the Gilded Tarot Royale. Okay, Libra. We begin with the Chariot. Success on a difficult, challenging path. The only way to win is to not give up, to stay determined, persevere. Don't lose sight of what your ultimate goal is. Even if you fail 9 times, you got to get up that 10th time and struggle on. It's success through determination, willpower, and perseverance. Not losing sight of what you ultimately want. Not for any distractions along the way or anything. This is staying focused. With Judgment. So many of the signs are getting this for, the May mid-month readings. Judgment represents typically that you've reached a place where there's a pretty significant choice in front of you. The choice itself may seem significant or insignificant, but the consequences of the choice will be profound and could potentially change your life path. Judgment is also sometimes considered the second chance card. So if there's a choice in front of you and there's a chance to make a different choice than you've made in the past, now is the time to do it. Because judgment is typically final, meaning if you choose to stay with the same person, place, situation, whatever cycle you're in, if that's the choice you make, that's probably what you'll just be stuck in for ad infinitum, some indeterminate period of time. If you make the choice to do something different, it will potentially change your life path, and there's no looking back from that. So choose carefully, choose wisely. Don't lose sight of your goals for something that feels easier in the interim. Because what you decide now is going to make a difference in the outcome of your life. Profoundly. Next, we have Strength, which is what this takes. Strength, wisdom, courage. This is about looking at your fears, facing your fears. Looking at perhaps the aspects that you don't like to look at, that none of us like to look at, like what's my part to play in any unhappy situation I find myself in, what's my responsibility, and taking a look at rectifying that, moving through that and from that. It takes a lot of strength, courage, wisdom, and humility, but that's also what you gain more of by being completely open and honest with yourself about it. Having the strength to do this. To not give in, to not say, okay, I'll just go back and do the same cycle because it's easier, because it's less scary. With the Nine of Wands, strength comes with the Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior card, the card that, it's called that because it usually, not so much here, but in other decks, it has an actual soldier who's got bandages on him and he's kind of weary. It's you've been through so much already, but you're close to the end of a difficult cycle, because the next card after this would be the Ten of Wands, and tens represent cycle endings, coming full circle. You get to the point where, okay, this is done. I can't do this anymore. It's over. This is being very, very close to that, only feeling maybe discouraged, feeling like giving up. You've been through so much, and yet here's another obstacle, and you're like, oh, when am I going to be done with this? You're so, so close. This coming with strength is just the strength to go that last quarter mile of the race, right? The hardest one, because it's when, it's usually in the last part of the race where we can see the end or not. It's like, how do I have the strength to get through the last little bit of this? That's what this is about. This whole feeling of this reading so far, Libra, is that you're right on the cusp. You're right on the doorstep of something quite amazing. But it's the last part of it is usually the most difficult. It's when you feel like giving up and you're discouraged, but don't. Next we have the moon, maybe a lack of clarity, maybe some deep-seated fears bubbling to the surface, trying to pull you back into the same old cycles again, not seeing clearly, not knowing what the future is going to hold. That's where that saying comes, better the devil we know. Let's stick with the toxic, unhealthy cycle, person, place, situation, because I know it. And even in the knowing of that, there's some comfort, because if I let go, what if there's nothing? It's never that. That's just what that negativity is trying to tell you, right? What if this happens? What if that doesn't happen? What if nothing ever happens, right? Lack of clarity. With temperance, balance, moderation, not too much of one nor too much of the other. This is staying firm, even if you can't see or know how it's going to play out for you. This is not allowing your emotions or any other people, places, or situations that you can't control take you out of that center of knowing what is the right thing for you to do. And that can be very difficult when people, places, situations, your own deep fears come bubbling up and try and pull you off from what you ultimately want with that chariot. There's a choice to be made here, and the choice is to struggle on because you're almost there, but it feels like something is trying to pull you in the opposite direction or keep you stuck in a cycle which may have some addictive elements to it but is unhealthy for you. So it's basically surrendering to that in order to have something truly beautiful and abundant, breaking any negative cycles. A lot of these readings have this energy right now in the May mid-months, and around this type of year I've noticed this energy cycle, spring and the lead up to spring, because spring is a time of rebirth and renewal, but it means that there has to be endings before that so there can be renewal. Something has to end. The winter time has to end, and giving birth requires some amount of pain as well, and challenge and sacrifice as well too, but it's what comes after that surrender. That is so beautiful, and that's what this looks like here. You're just in the last bit of it, the hardest bit of it, and it's difficult to maintain this strength, judgment, making the right choices, to keep focused on what you ultimately want, because it would be so easy just to give up, but don't. From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy is the Wheel of Fortune, divine timing and orchestration. Let me pull one more for that. The Ten of Swords, surrendering to a painful ending and trusting that, and Spirit takes care of the rest after that. Surrendering to a painful ending means letting go of separating yourself from people, places, situations, ideas that are or have become unhealthy or even toxic for you. Letting that go, even though it's scary, even though it might hurt for a time, and trusting that divine timing and orchestration will take care of the rest because you're doing your part. Let me see what the next two cards would be from that deck before I clarify. The Eight of Cups and the World. Yes, it's walking away from that which has proven to be dissatisfying, not fulfilling. It may have started out that you thought it was, but it's turned out not to be what you truly wanted, or it's run its course. So here in the Eight of Cups, you're turning away from it to go in search of the Nine of Cups, which would be the next card, which represents having what you truly want. The World. This is a card of moving on, of leveling up, of graduation. It speaks of going through a particular phase, something in your life for some time. And here you've climbed, you're at the top of the mountain now. You've learned everything you need to learn, and it's time to move on. You're looking off at a brand new landscape full of different options and opportunities. That's what the World card is. It's the last major arcana card in the tarot. The first is the Fool. He has the 0 on his card, and we're the Fool. And all the cards after that are about our journey through different stages of life, learning, changing, growing, evolving, succeeding, failing, but learning all the while until we get to the World card, where that particular phase is over. We've gotten everything we can out of it, and now it's time to move on to a new level. But you have to walk away from something first. Let's clarify that overall energy. Wheel of Fortune and 10 of Swords. This is basically, surrendering to a painful ending, because 10s represent that cycle ending, and trusting. Surrendering, letting it go, and trusting. Not giving up, not compromising any of your choices with Judgment and the Chariot. This is making sure that all of your choices, what you say, what you think, all the choices that you make, is this leading me towards what I truly want in a healthy way? If not, you don't do it. It has to at least not be pulling you away from it. Clarify overall energy. Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Swords. The 7 of Wands, the 5 of Swords. Who else got this? I think Cancer got this exact same thing. Lots of similar energy this time of year. Defending with the 7 of Wands. Defending, protecting, guarding that which you fully believe in. The 5 of Swords is a hard-won victory. It's winning even though it may not feel like winning at the time, because winning, meaning putting yourself on a healthier path, may mean that you have to leave people behind, situations behind, and that might be difficult to do. But it's about that Chariot card, that 7 of Wands, not giving up, not compromising yourself. What you believe in, what you stand for. Clarify the Chariot and Judgment. Choices, determination, perseverance. This is like a classic combination of don't make any choices to give up that which you want most for that which you might feel you want right now, or that might be easier. The Knight of Swords, the 3 of Wands, information, conversations, and feeling more hopeful and optimistic about your future based on the work that you've already done, seeing some of your efforts paying off and waiting for that ship to come in and feeling very good about what's on it. The Knight of Swords takes that information, delivers it, has conversations about it, moves forward. This is all clarifying the Chariot. And it may be that you have to speak this to somebody else, speak this truth. Look, it's very tempting to do this other thing or to continue to do this other thing, but I have to make a stand on what's best for me and my future, the health and well-being and true success and abundance of my future. I can't give in to this other thing because it's proven to be unhealthy for me, bad for me. Clarify Judgment, significant choices, crossroads. Here we go, the 8 of Cups. Again, leaving, walking away, making the choice to leave something behind. The Tower, letting it all crumble down, which may be difficult, challenging, painful, but this is what's called for. This is what's required to change an unhappy situation. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again because you feel you need to, or there's some addictive element into it, or I need it because if I let it go, then there'll be nothing and I'll be terribly miserable for the rest of my life. That's that thing trying to suck us back into these unhealthy cycles. But it's by making the choice of the Tower. Just let it crash, let it crumble down. And I'm going to be afraid, I might be hurting, but I'm going to let that go and trust that what's in front of me is better. That's what Spirit is calling you to do here, which of course requires a fair amount of strength. And also acceptance and taking responsibility for the part that we've had to play in our own misery too, which is part of what that Strength card is. Let's clarify strength. Judgment, right? Making that right choice. The 5 of Cups, even if you lose. Sadness, regret, yes. Clarify the Nine of Wands. Feeling like giving up. The Hanging Man. Death. Yeah, this is kind of like watching something bleed out to its end and not doing anything in the process, right? Death is major endings, utter transformation. Death so that rebirth can occur. The Hanging Man is not taking action. It's not making any decisive moves. It's not doing the same thing you've done before in this cycle. It's having the strength to let something end without doing anything about it. Other than saying, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then whatever comes after that, whatever tries to pull you back into that cycle, it's about having the strength to just not do anything. Just let it go. Let it die. That might be what transforms the situations. Every once in a while, that's what happens. But it's what needs to happen in order for you on your own path to get to the other side of it, which is birth, renewal. Clarify the Moon. Yeah, hope. The Moon clarified by hope. I don't know, is there going to be renewal, restoration of hope and faith and wish fulfillment? By doing this, am I going to get what I want? This is a card that requires believing and having faith that it's going to work out, even if you can't see the next step in front of you. That's what's in shadow right now. Like, I don't know. Is this going to be? I don't know. We've all been through this. It's doing what we know is the right thing to do, but it means letting go of something, and that's hard for us. We second guess ourselves. We have doubt, you know. The Two of Cups and the Nine of Cups, soulmates, wish fulfillment, getting what you want. Both the Nine of Cups and the Sun is wish fulfillment, but it's based on faith, on doing the right thing, the thing you know is the right and healthy thing to do. There's a soulmate card here. Maybe this is love and romance for some of your partnership. This is what you're unclear about. Like, am I ever going to have this? Am I ever going to have what I want? Am I ever going to have that great union? Am I ever going to find my person? Is this ever going to work out? Temperance. This is trying to maintain your balance through all of that and have the patience, again, with the Hanging Man and Death, to wait while something ends. Temperance. I mean, that's why the Strength card is here, you know? It takes that. On the Strength card again. Yep. The High Priestess. Trust, faith, divine intuition. This is trusting. Even if all the external people, places, and situations are saying, don't do that, are you crazy? This isn't the right thing. This is trusting. Listening to your intuition, which is connection to the divine. Paying attention to those signs. Similar theme as to many of the other mid-months so far. There's beauty and joy and rebirth and renewal, but it comes on the other side of a decision to let something end, to end it or let it end, which is hard, right? It's like winter ending and going into spring. There's that sometimes unpleasant time in between where everything's all gray and slushy, right? Any final messages, guidance, advice for Libra? Two of Wands. Make that choice. The Ten of Wands. To get to the end of your rope and let that burden go. You don't need to be carrying this around anymore. Take some time out to heal, recover, recuperate. With the Four of Swords, the Six of Swords, lovely graduation here, a flow of this. The Six of Swords is healing, slowly but surely moving away from the worst. The worst is behind you. You're in smoother, calmer waters. You're not quite to the other shore yet, non-solid ground, but you will be. This is transitional. You're moving towards it. This is healing. The Wheel of Fortune again, divine timing and orchestration, God's fingerprints all over this. Your part, Libra, is to make the right decision. It may hurt. There'll be healing. Spirit will help you. They'll be there with you every step of the way. The Ace of Cups. There's renewal after that. New love, new romance. for some of you, the heart opening up again. It's a beautiful, beautiful reading. And again, very similar to all the other mid-months I've done so far, with a few varying details, of course. Make the right choice. There's joy on the other side of this, true abundance. Not the illusion of what, but true joy and abundance. Okay, Libra, those are your messages for the last 2 weeks of May. I hope you enjoyed it, found it helpful and useful. Readings are kind of intense. And of course, there's always that challenge in letting go, right? And it's a general reading, so the intensity is going to vary, but the message remains the same. On the other side of that is peace, healing, joy, love, light, and abundance. But we have to take that step. Okay, Libra. Again, if any of this resonated with you enough that you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, perhaps take a deeper look at something for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. You can also get that info by clicking the description link. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the June, almost mid-year, the June general readings. Stay safe and well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.